homegrown. Rock to the rhythm and back to the beat of the radio. Ain't got the name, but you got the best to play the role. You can't play with me. And all the bros try for the cousin, but share the talk slow. She got a hat and all the ass of the asshole. She'll be about to me. Where the hell do no living oh yeah, that's where I move. Let me feel like I'm the one who moves you. The only one you see. Now take it down. Don't you let those tears put the thirsty ground. Don't you be so scared that you can't make a sound. Make a good sound for me. Out of London, the thing that's the thing we got to love and tell about the rain. Those rainy days they ain't so bad when you're the king they wanna see. Homegrown, rock to the rhythm and back to the beat of the radio. You ain't got the same, but you got the best to play the role. You can't play with me. When the hell do you know the lippy kisses when you like to ride on? And make me feel like I'm the one who's moving you. The only one you see. All around the scene, the English queen makes your love that tells I breathe. And those rainy days, they ain't so bad when you're the king they wanna be. Come, my little Venus, can't you feel it's in all of us? Like the light, we'll see you soon. Give up yourself and dive into the moon. I don't mind being with you, knowing I'm by myself. There's a river in all of us that's dry. 'Cause you are in me, there's a river in all of us that's dry. 'Cause you are in me. Come on, little Venus, wrapped in shadows. Yeah, you're one of us. And I hear the footsteps inside your head, walking, trying to find yourself. I found myself in you. Let me in, let me breathe. Yeah, I found myself in you. Oh yeah. So come, my little Venus, Come my little Venus. Come my little Venus. Come my little Venus. You scream in silence, but I can hear you. You scream in silence, but I can hear you. You scream in silence, but I can hear you. Oh, my little Venus, can't you feel it's in all of us? Like the light, we see us soon give up ourselves and dive into your room. And dive into your room. My little Venus, come 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 my little Venus. Can't you feel, can't you feel? Oh, now you're one of us. Like the light, we'll see you soon. Give up ourselves and dive into your room. And I don't mind, I don't mind. Come on, little Venus, a Venus, a Venus. Come on, little, oh my Venus. You're my Venus, my Venus, my Venus, my Venus, my Venus. And come, my little
Would you please stand for Marcus? A cell phone check, please, folks. They sound too loud in here. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Del Busky, and on behalf of his family, it is my sad privilege to welcome you all here today to say farewell to Marcus. Here today is not where any of you wanted to be, but the tough timing of fate deemed otherwise, and here you are. As are those who attend via our live streaming service, in particular Vicky and Barry Markoff in Australia, and Neville Clark currently in the South Island. You have all done him proud, and the family thank you from the bottom of their hearts for being with them today. The inimitable, the unstoppable, the high-octane Marcus Beaufoy had been about his life as usual. 1,000 things on the agenda, and 1,000 more, no doubt, percolating in his head as he went to bed last Thursday night. The next day was not far off dawning when a shocking, out-of-the-blue turn of events revealed that Marcus was in trouble. In spite of Kerry's best effort and the teams of first responders, his heart would not oblige. Hope disappeared, and on that morning, 54 years of octane had hit the brakes. As Kerry did nothing by halves, ever, and most of you will attest to that. In death, he was no different. And on the morning of the 6th of June, not even the best navigator in the world could have guided him back onto the road. The long road that lay ahead of him, the one now paved with abject sadness. Kerry and the family wish to acknowledge with enormous thanks the sterling work of the first responders. The Fire Brigade and St John were incredible. They kept everyone informed what was happening, and if any hope could have been found, they would have found it. Heartfelt thanks too to all who have sent messages of support, who have called in and brought food and flowers. The rallying of friendship and community is something special to behold when it happens, and writes such meaningful memories into the family's logbook. Meaningful memories will be further generated when we hear from the designated speakers shortly. Following the telling of their tales, we have a photographic tribute on screen, then a few closing reflections before we commit Marcus's body to private cremation. That traditional time of final respects paid at the hearse outside before his departure follows, after which the family would love to welcome you at the Bushmere Arms, the Beaufoy family's local, for the social gathering and stories, of which, given the very nature of Marcus and his involvements, generates an endless supply, of course. We could well be here alone for several hours. So for those of you with your foot poised on the story accelerator, there can be scope for you to share a few at the hiccup. The stories told, the kind words are gratefully received amidst the traumatic loss this family must bear. For all the blessings they have of Marcus in their kit bags, they need their mates too, who understood him, who shared the joys of his life and now share their heartache. His girls, Kerry, Meg, Lily, Georgie, you are missing your husband and father dreadfully, as do Colin and Alison, your beloved son, Sarah, Jont, and Emma, your treasured, friendly foe and brother, Wilton and Joy, your great son-in-law. We who stand with you in support wish you courage and heart for the future, the best of memories to fill that logbook, and the knowledge that the space in between the lines captures the feelings surrounding you now. So from all corners of his world, we are here today, each with a part of the good, the entertaining, the irrepressible story that was Marcus Beaufoy in hand. A story with a last chapter we sorely wish we could have rewritten. In the words of Julianne Hutton, you were taken from us too soon, too early, gone without warning, not your choice, certainly not ours. Lost to the beauty of life, snatched from our love, no time to form a farewell thought, no chance to say goodbye. The funeral service has within it the picking and preserving of memories for the future, and that, I suggest, is an element of learning to say the goodbye that was missed. So I call upon those charged with the task of speaking today, as per your service sheets. Jont will begin, Paul Kirkpatrick and Matt Long follow, Tim Gardner with Cody Clark is next, Marcus's girls, Kerry, Meg, Lily and Georgie, we'll wrap it up. If you would just follow each other in turn, if you would. John.
This was not in the plan. I'm not supposed to be up here. We are not supposed to be gathered here. And you, brother, sure as shit, you're not supposed to be down there in that box. Not yet. For the close family, this has been the worst and the hardest week of our lives. Dealing with our own grief and seeing the pain with Kerry and the girls. And I know for a number of friends here, you've had things like this and scars in your own houses. And we feel for you too. This is horrible. But alongside that, we've been so humbled to have so many of you help us through this time. The food, the flowers, the help setting this all up, the organisers, the generosity, the hugs. So good. So good. Our family could not have coped without you. So from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. But let's go back then to when it all began. 4th of October, 1970. Outshot Marcus. Air text already on. Smoke's in his pocket. Good to go. Born to Alison and Colin, he was the first and ugliest of his 4 kids. Sarah came next, then me, and several years later there was an accident and Emma joined us. The golden boy was walking after 9 months, naturally gifted. But it's fair to say that Marcus was a challenge to raise. Even at this age, he would jump out of the cot, head off down the farm, mum and dad having to track him down in all sorts of places. He took that cot apart, looking round for wheels to put on it. The first in a lifetime of unfinished projects. And when no one would pick him up, he would ram his head against the headboard, which would make him angry, so he'd hit it even harder. And he lost a bit more of that halo when his grandparents visited once, admiring their pride and joy, Marcus, as he played in the sandpit. And as he talked to them, the farm dogs behind him sounded off. And 3-year-old Marcus gently leaned back and shouted, "If you fucking dogs don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna come back down there and I'm gonna kill you." Clearly, some top parenting. Marcus was 4 years old, 4 years older than me, and my first recollection of him, I was on the teat. He would glare at me in jealousy from the other one. The first of many drinking races we had. He was fiercely protective of his sisters, but hold that thought before you think he was Christmas. He was just creating room for his own amusement, tying them up to the clothesline and swinging them round, chasing them around the house with a bat. And Emma, being a short ass, His way of fixing that was to pick her up by the head. I don't think it worked. And I didn't get off much easier. He would stuff matchsticks into our slug gun and keep shooting me until one stuck in. So similar to a hostage situation, equal parts survival and Stockholm syndrome, bonding with our captor, the good times we had back then in the Whakaturu farm, something we'll always remember. Marcus visited us in Christchurch a few weeks ago. He was down for a Lincoln rugby reunion. He'd had a few beers all afternoon, in the evening, big day. And he rings me up. "Oh, the boys are great, but they're all heading home. They're feather dusters. I'm coming to yours." It's 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. Yeah, great. So we got into the gins. And it's not unusual for Marcus and I to drink to the early hours, but this time, our last time, it was different. I was stone cold sober. We covered his usual circuit of talking, his plans for his businesses, his great staff, and the people he worked with, American politics, and Trump, his generous support for the Labour and Greens Party, vaxing. I was always keen to give an ivermectin. And this month's conspiracy theories. His plans for the car. But I like my toys too, but I don't know why he ever needed it. I mean, as it was, any driver of them felt like the East Coast sort of needed to be in a constant state of alert for the risk of the Beaufoy missile coming around the corner. But he was most passionate when he was talking about his kids. Not just his, but yours and mine. He was asking about our Emily and our Oliver. "Ollie stared me down tonight. Good head shank on him. He's not going to be a feather duster. We've got a good one there. Send him up. I'll sort him." And he ran through his girls the way he always did. Meg, capable of doing anything, chuffed. She was off to America shortly for a trip. And Lily, well, let's just say any lad should be extremely nervous if he's going out with one of his daughters. But Lockie had it okay. And Georgie. Oh, Georgie. Their love for hunting together. We'd hatched a plan for our second South Island roadie. 6 stops that included the Camerons and the Waitaki, the Cades and Tuatapere, and across to Emma and David for the finale. It was going to be epic. And George's rugby. What a star. Marcus would try and take some credit for those skills, like he had some sort of talent back in the day. First 15 NZ champs, some Canterbury Colts thing. Not ready to give you a compliment. But what I recall back then was the camaraderie and the loyalty he had with his rugby buddies and some of the parties they had. Grant Allen and I were there when you joined in the drinking games. I think we were only 13. More top draw parenting. That stitched up and Grunter would wet the bed. I think he still does. But his unwavering loyalty to his mates, and he picked a good set of boys, real good boys. He was a rock to so many of you. I've heard so many stories of what Marcus did. He did this, he helped that boy, he donated that. He had his own way of showing love. He would treat you hard, but he did this because he loved you. He wanted us to be strong, and we have to show him now that we can be. We will never replace the dad, the husband that he was. For the aunties and uncles, the grandparents, and his close friends, we have to step up. Kerry and the girls, we will be there for you every step of the way. Goodbye, brother. I'll finally admit that you were the better man. My best mate. Thank you. Good old Marcus, he had the last laugh with me last Wednesday at the completion of the Reeves family Mokai Rail bull sale, Hereford bull sale. We caught up afterwards and he said, I'm surprised they didn't sell you Hereford head. Marcus was commonly known to most of us as Hemi, a nickname I gave him in the later years at Gisborne Boys High School, and at a time when my brother Simon came back from Lincoln University owning a Chrysler Valiant Hemi 2-barrel. It was a beast of a car. It was fast, grunty, and loud, and with Marcus being such a bogan / petrol head, it typified everything about him, and so that nickname stuck to Allison's horror, and it's been his name ever since. It's been Hemi 2-barrel, 2 barrels, but mainly Hemi to his mates. So please excuse me if I swap between Hemi and Marcus. And please excuse me from reading this because I only just finished it 3 minutes ago. I could write a book about Hemi. I could talk for hours about him, but I can just hear him saying straight up, hurry up, boys. Give them the speed version. So here we go. We met at Gisborne Boys High School. We were prefects together. And in our final year at school in 1988, we were both part of a very special team of rugby players and coaches that went on to win the New Zealand Secondary Schools Championship. Hemi played at number 6 on the blind side, a jersey he owned outright for his deadliest tackling and his natural ability to be in the right place at the right time to link with backs and secure loose ball. Hemi, Matt Long and myself, the 3 musketeers from school, we headed to Lincoln University where he started a BCom Ag. He excelled even further with his rugby with the Lincoln University Colts team at number 7 at open side, and he fringed on the Canterbury Colts under 21 team only at the age of 19. He had a massive future in the game as he had amazing instinct and, believe it or not, phenomenal lung capacity that he just went flat out for 80 minutes. But unfortunately, his career was cut well short with a massive knee injury that prevented him from playing any more serious rugby. But as we might hear from Matt, he went on to be an inspirational coach. Whilst in Christchurch, Hemi quickly worked out time was the enemy, and time was the enemy, and being a scholar was wasting too much valuable time. So in between lectures, he spent countless hours in his flat's garage working on his beloved Holden HQ. One of his flatmates in his second year, Marcus Ricky, recalls halfway through that year, someone smashed into his beloved Holden HQ, and it just flicked the switch with Hemi. He fixed his Holden HQ, and despite doing really well with his studies, which he honestly was, he was nailing it. He fixed his car, and with no warning at all, he woke up one morning, was gone like a rocket back to Gisborne and back to Kerry. And
just lovesick, obviously, and no rest for the wicked. That's how he rolled. And he came back to Gisborne. He continued to follow his passion for cars by, funnily enough, finding a job where its main role was driving a car, being a stock agent for Williams and Kettles and thrashing Toyota Corollas. I eventually came back from overseas, and in the late 1990s, my wife-to-be and Jo and I flatted with Hemi and Kerry in one of the many houses that the entrepreneur would buy, renovate and sell. And yes, once again, working an 8-hour day as a stock agent role wasn't enough. So in the late hours of the evenings and the nights and the wee early hours of the morning, he'd be knocking walls down or on a skill saw, waking up his flatmates and the whole bloody neighbourhood. Speed up the clock. We were best men for each other. Hemi and Kerry moved through 3 more houses to where they find themselves today at Ormond Road. They have 3 amazing girls, and he not only has one successful livestock business in E.J. Gordon Livestock, but another great business with growing, packing, and selling fruit with Max Citrus. Outside of business, Hemi's life continued to be only at one speed, flat out. He was a super dad, supporting his girls through their lives, following their sports, netball, show jumping, hockey, and rugby. And he mentored his girls on a lot of things, but one definite was that under no circumstances were they ever to bring home a boyfriend that was a feather duster. A favourite date of the year for Hemi was duck shooting opening weekend at Jody Annabelle Hume's Telmata Station with a tight group of 5 mates, Jody, Mark Steele, Charlie Allen, Andrew Fletcher, and the Moth, Simon Shanks. He only had one mishap, and it wasn't with a gun, because like most things that had moving parts, he had a degree in guns as well. But he had to drive 30 metres down Jody and Annabelle's driveway down to the cottage to sleep the night, and his pride and joy V8, he set off only to slide off the drive, down the side of the hill, hit a tree that saved him from rolling, and ended up in the bull paddock. And his excuse was, I was leaning down to grab my cigarettes. Good old Hemi. But he followed his passion for cars, and he became a member of the Gisborne Car Club, where for more than a decade he competed in several rallies over New Zealand. He was the president for a time. He was instrumental in finding new roads within the district for the club to rally. Hugh Spence, who competed with Marcus, remembers Marcus once asked him, what do I have to do to beat you? Hugh replied, just slow down, Marcus. With that, Marcus went faster than he has ever gone and beat Hugh. In 2015, Gisborne hosted the last round of the New Zealand Rally Championship, and Marcus was phenomenal, finishing 3rd out of all the New Zealand competitors. He loved the sport, and why he loved it, in his words, was because no outside influence affects the outcome. Our good mate Ginge Tomlinson was one of his first co-pilots, and I said, I asked him the other day, I said, Ginge, were you in charge of directions, left and right and all that? He says, no, mate, I had one job, and that was keeping cigarettes up to him. But it's his long-time co-driver, Robin Hollenby, told me Marcus was born to drive. He was an amazing driver, and no matter how fast he was going, she always had that sixth sense that she was going to be safe. Fortunately, Robin didn't experience this car's last race, where it ended up as a yellow submarine upside down in a river on the Heri Heri Tau Road. Once again, our old mate's attitude of no one's left behind prevailed, and he told me in his own words, with zero vision, upside down in a muddy river, he somehow managed to bust the door open against the raging current, scrambled to the water's top for a gulp of oxygen, and then immediately dived back down to save his co-driver. But that incident wasn't going to end Marcus's passion forever, and after a bit of hiatus, as John touched on, the there's a bit of a hiatus from the rally scene, as John touched on. He was just about to embark on yet another project to get this old Subi back on the gravel. Another occasion Hemi loved and never missed was his weekly Thirsty Thursday, 5 p.m. catch up with a real rough crew called Bags Kemp, Andrew Fletcher, Adrian Funsole, and that moth, Simon Shanks. At the end, at either of their places, every Thursday, it was supposed to be just a few beers and a quick debrief of the week that was, but it always ended up being a box of beers each, a packet of cigarettes for Marcus, and yarns into the depths of the night, with Marcus leading the charge of convincing his mates how good Donald Trump was. He also put his valuable time and sponsorship into this very place, Poverty Bay A&P show. He put his shoulder to the wheel for the Ngarapa Sports Club. He mentored a lot of people he knows well, and a lot of people he doesn't know that well. But he always put his hand out in whatever way he could. Yet his biggest thrill has been his girls, Meg, Lily, and Georgie. He always had a quick update on your girls' whereabouts and happenings. And one of the biggest goals in his life was to be able to help you girls achieve your dreams. So never stop thinking of Dad, because he was always there on your shoulder saying, go, girl, go. Hemi, you may have got the last laugh, mate, but I'm going to get the last word. Hemi was never going to live a normal life, because let's be honest, he was never normal. Like some of us, he was on the spectrum. Life would be bloody boring if we're all the same, and his abrupt / generous / crazy / caring / straight up character brought that edge to all of us that we needed in our lives. He shot from the hip, and he said it as he saw it before he ever thought about it. There was never any grey in any debate with someone who was either a great outcome or a disaster. His brain was like the rest of his body. It ran constantly at 100 miles an hour, and the only thing that would slow him down was smoking and drinking Corona. And despite the bizarre paradox of feeling totally safe with him driving, you always did your best to find another ride. If you ever wanted a wingman, Marcus was your man. He always had your back. Hemi, you're an incredible human being that defied normal and took living to another level. For a man who seemed to never have enough time chasing your goals and your dreams, you always had time for others. An absolute legend and a local icon of our time. Hemi, like a cat or a lion, I should say, you obviously just ran out of lives, and you've left us way, way too soon. You're going to leave a big hole, none more than for Kerry and your incredible 3 girls. Who you were so, so proud of. Rest assured, we will be there through thick and thin for them. Rest in peace, my friend. Love you, mate.
Thanks, Harold. Yeah, I was having a quick chat with Hemi outside before I came in. It was more a lecture from Hemi, actually. Just telling me to get up here and get on with it. Don't bang on. Most of these fellas want to get to the pub. So with that, I'll crack into it. My thoughts are a bit out of order, but as most of you know, Hemi was often out of order. So I think we'll be all right. I want to say to Kerry, Meg, Lily and Georgie, just how bloody amazing you guys have been this week, looking after each other. Kerry, your strength has been simply next level. Should I mean that? Meg, your grace, your intellect, and calm in the storm shows you to be wise beyond your years. Lily, you light up a room and still putting all others before you in your hour of need. George, in a week you've been forced to take on something that is so unfair, and yet you've also managed to step up like the champion your dad knows you to be. Like Harold said, everyone in this room knows how proud your dad was of each of you. But if he could see how you've pulled together as a team for each other and for Mum this week, his heart would truly melt. Without him, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. That's a Donald Trump quote. When it comes to energy, Marcus was like a nuclear power station, often on the verge of a meltdown. Dreams, schemes, deals and plans. Think big or go home. Marcus loved doing a deal, buying and selling livestock, blocks of land, houses, pack houses, mandarins, lemons, as is wearers, diggers, as is wearers. For most of that, that's code for turn around and walk the other way. But for Marcus, that sounded like there could be a good deal. His business acumen was backed not only by a nose for a deal, but more importantly, by a rock-solid code. What's right and wrong, a black and white fella with a reputation that stretched far and wide for being a straight shooter. Marcus was a year older than me at Boys High. He was a star in the first 15, whereas I peaked on the bench for the third 15. Marcus could rebuild a car, shear a sheep, and drink big bots. I knew how to wax a surfboard and pack cones. And yet somehow we became tight mates. Marcus exuded a confidence that he could do anything, that he had it under control, and nothing could go wrong. This even worked on my father, who was known for not lending anybody anything, especially me. But if Marcus was there, all of a sudden the car keys, a chainsaw, and even the boat would all suddenly be handed over without so much as a word of caution. As we all know, and as it's been said, Marcus did everything at 100 an hour. Driving, talking, working, drinking and eating. Phil Ellis mentioned to me that he reckons Marcus is the only human he's seen eat a filled roll while still smoking a ciggy. Bags reckons he's pretty good at smoking them with wicket-keeping gloves on. That's during the match. And even relaxing Marcus managed to somehow do fast. A family trip to Waikaremoana or Tarawera with the Beaufoys would see the kids arrive in car sick, followed by a few days of Marcus pacing the shoreline, cursing the cell phone coverage. At the end of the relaxing getaway, Hemi and Whānau would depart in a cloud of dust and stones, as if getting off the start line in the rally champs. For 5 years, Marcus coached the notorious Ngātapa Green junior rugby team. There were some savage battles in the Gizzy comp as we tried to head to the top of the leaderboard, but none more savage than with our rivals, the more coolly named Ngātapa Stags. The Stags were coached by the just as competitive, but way more sophisticated Heath Hawea. And while Heath and Hemi were bitter rivals in the Gizzy comp, each year they would combine forces and head off to Taupo as one team for the New Zealand Junior Rugby Festival. A highlight on Heath and Marcus's calendar, as well as for all the boys. In all these battles, there was one player who Marcus was way harder on than all the rest. And yet, that player was without question the most consistently or bringing down a big unit from the Pakuranga Pirates, which of course was none other than Marcus's daughter, George. Being politically, culturally, or socially correct was never part of Marcus's coaching plan. A barrage of swear words and the odd boot up the arse seemed to work pretty well. And while a few mums, most of the opposition and the odd official would take offence at Marcus's approach, all in all, it seemed to work well, as was often reflected on the scoreboard. But the trophies and cups weren't really what the team got out of it. My take on what they got out of it was that he never treated them like little kids. He spoke to them the same way he speaks to everyone. They knew exactly where they stood with Marcus, and they loved that about him. They were bloody lucky to have him. He gave them everything he had. He taught them a lot about the value of hard work, believing in everyone's ability to always do better, and the team's ability to do better together. Importantly, he taught them, don't give up and don't take any shit. He hardened them up with his big soft heart. I'm not sure what the key takeaway should be for me from Marcus's life. Is it to maybe slow down a bit? Or is it just to go for it, flat out? The one thing I'll remember is the passion he had for life. And as Donald says, without passion, you don't have energy. And without energy, you have nothing. Cheers, Hemi. On behalf of Ngāti Green, George Hume, I'd just like to present a jersey to Kerry to say thank you for the time Marcus devoted to the boys in the club.
Marcus Beaufoy, rally car driver, citrus exporter, livestock agent, rugby coach, wicket keeper for the Night Wolves, dad, husband, friend, and all-round top bloke. I'm Tim Gardner, a work colleague of Marcus's on the EJ Gordon side of things. I just want to say what an honour it is to speak here today. I'm here to talk about Marcus's life as a livestock agent. After a stint at Lincoln University, Marcus began his livestock career at Williams and Kettles under the guidance of Brian Watts, starting as a cadet in 1991. Not long after, the late Eric Gordon, EJ, approached him and said, "Come and work for me. I'll buy you a car and you can hit the road." And that was the beginning of a long and meaningful relationship between Marcus and EJ. Under EJ's mentorship, Marcus's business grew quickly, and before long he was earning commission and he had to buy his own car. But Marcus didn't buy just any car. It had to be the loudest and fastest. A Subaru Legacy was the weapon of choice, and boy, could it go. John Burns tells a great yarn about the time he and Marcus flew over to Opotiki to look at a line of cattle. After setting what might have been a record time through the gorge, JB told Marcus, "Pull over." Well, he was done. Told Marcus to get out, and he was driving from there on in. There's a whole generation of young farmers who have grown up admiring not just the cars, but the sound Marcus made as he toured around the region. Marcus remained loyal to EJ right through to EJ's passing in 2012. The way Marcus worked with people was heavily shaped by EJ's influence. If you mucked EJ around, he'd say, "Bugger you," and move on. Marcus developed a similar edge in his own way, straight up and no nonsense. EJ was a massive mentor and role model to Marcus, and Marcus' family want to acknowledge the part EJ played in shaping the man we all knew. And even though he's not here today, I'd like to think they're enjoying each other's company again. I first met Marcus in 2006 when I returned to Gisborne from Hawke's Bay to work for Morrison Livestock under Hamish Morrison. I was young and learning the ropes, and Marcus was always honest and open with me, something you don't always get in a highly competitive agency world. Speaking of competition, there was one early morning at the coast when Hamish and I caught up to Marcus driving through Wainui. Hamish and Marcus shared a similar passion for cars, faster the better, and on that day, Marcus wasn't letting anyone past. From Turihoa to Ruatoria, it was pedal to the floor. Hamish joked, I'll just keep him there. If there's a cop, he'll get the first ticket. Truth was, neither of them liked losing. Whether it was in the paddock or on the road, and that competitive spirit made them both bloody good agents. Made for a very quick trip too. In 2013, I joined the EJ Gordon Livestock under Marcus and Neville Clark, and that's when I got to know him even better. Marcus's work ethic, his sharp mind, his sense of humour, his eye for stock, and his ability to smoke a cigarette in just about any situation was second to none. He and Neville made a hell of a team, and I reckon we made a pretty sharp trio. They both did their mentor EJ proud by naming the business after them and growing it to what it is today. And as Marcus's citrus business took off, he stepped back from the livestock, but he kept a close eye on our books, always ensuring things were running right. Hemi never backed down from a challenge, but he always found a solution. And that made him a great negotiator, unless, of course, he was 20 beers deep after the Willencote bull sale. Say no more. But these 12 years have been an absolute blast, mate. You and Nev gave me all the tools to go out and give this agency my best shot. You backed me and Sonia every step of the way, and I'll be forever grateful. And I'll treasure our friendship for the rest of my days. I'm going to miss you, Hemi. Rest easy, brother. And we'll look after your family just as you've done for me.
Good afternoon, everyone. If I haven't met you, my name's Cody Clark. I'm here to speak on behalf of my father, Nick, who can't be here today. He's got a bull sale down south. So these are his words. With a heavy and broken heart, I sit in a motel room at the other end of the country, not sure where I should be. But over the last few days, I've seen the families come together, circle the wagons, and take care of Marcus's girls in true Kiwi spirit with love and affection. Karma is a wonderful concept in life and shows its full meaning when the odds are against you and the world is a dark place. Marcus was a giver in his life, whether it be his time, his knowledge, his zest for life, or his friendship, which as seen today, he has touched a lot of people from so many walks of life. He had so many irons in the fire that needed his attention. It was a wonder he had time to smoke, but that was Marcus, and he was happiest when busy. Marcus and I came together via the sale yards when we would sell stock on behalf of EJ, and then that ramped up as EJ got crook. We were both very fortunate to have worked with EJ. I, not as much as Marcus, but we were both, over the last 12 or 14 years, would often talk about EJ, his quips, his steely nature, and times in our business, we would often say, what would EJ do if he was here? That generally gave us the right answer, and away we'd go. Our relationship in business has been outstanding. I can't remember a crossword, the odd get your paperwork tidy, but For a business run on a handshake, as such, it has been quite a ride. Knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses and a clear vision of doing what was right has been the makings of the business. A sense of old type values where people matter more than the dollar. We enjoyed each other's company, both different in our interests, but a few beers and a laugh was always good for the soul. His next lot of projects would seemingly come out. Then we would explore Trump, and you know it was time to go home. Beer didn't happen enough, as it turned out. We go through life meeting and greeting a lot of people in our business, and characters develop and leave their mark on us all. He was one. Not the traditional stock and station type, but a mix of what made Marcus special to us all today. Kerry and the girls, I know you are proud of your dad, and his passion for life will be carried on by your zest to carry his legacy on. Clarkie.
My rock, my hero, my father. 19 years spent with you. I understand why you were taken from us. You're my father, the person who loved me without limits, who believed in me, who made me feel safe in a world that now feels so unsteady without you. Some of my favourite memories with you, Dad, was going to Waiho Bay with the Steels. Those wild car rides where I'd be holding on for dear life, fixing things together, being around to help you with your always busy life. And I will miss our catch-ups at the dinner table. My last ever memory with you, Dad, was Lockie taking us out hunting. I didn't know it would be the last, but I'm grateful it was a good one. So, Dad, I'll pinky promise I'll keep doing the things you always told me to do. I'll live in a way that would make you so proud. You were the hardest worker I've ever known, and I aspired to be just like that. I'll live by these two quotes you always reminded me of. Work hard. No one's going to hand you anything. And no matter what, keep your head up, girl. You were truly 1 in a million, Dad. The best father I could ask for. I love you to the moon and back.
Thank you for being here, and thank you to those who have been there for us this past week. You know who you are. I had a different idea in mind for what I would say about Dad, but Georgie was in the midst of an English internal focusing on the theme of an unspoken bond between someone special in her life. She chose Dad. It was just too special for us not to share. The piece is unfinished, but we thought we would alter it to this occasion for Dad. Georgie will now read her special parts of her writing.
How am I supposed to put into words the bond between my dad and I? Each memory we have created together and all he has taught me is a testament to his incredible role as a father to us. His worn hands are a symbol of his hard work and sacrifice, representing the depths of his presence and love, which is shown through actions rather than words. He doesn't need to express when he is proud. I sense it through his passion for wanting us to succeed. Our relationship extends beyond words. It's built on our shared interests, memories, and a deep sense of trust that is strengthened by every moment that we spend together. From him, I've learnt the walk of life. He has always instilled in me the value of hard work. Success isn't earned by constant recognition. It's earned through discipline and the mindset to always improve. He taught me the importance of standing tall in the face of setbacks. A quote he always reminds me of is, "It's better to try to fail than to not try at all." He has shaped me into the person that I am today, and my thankfulness for him extends lengths beyond what he knows. One day I hope to show him my gratitude by succeeding in the best way that I can. I would choose him to be my father in every lifetime. Now, Dad, I understand that it's our turn to kick the wolves away. My Marcus, you left me and the girls on Friday, the 6th of June, in true Marcus style. Fast-paced, foot to the floor, full throttle. No beating around the bush, just straight to the point. No chance to say goodbye or bark any orders. You lived your life to the fullest. You loved a good party and your mates. Always the last man standing, and still managed to ring me in the early hours to collect you. Your brain is wired differently and never an off button. Your no filter approach had me ducking for cover on numerous occasions. You had a swear word for every letter of the alphabet. Your unfinished jobs around the house were endless. I'm still waiting for my new oven door so I can take the bungee cord off you used to hold it closed. Insulation tape was your friend. However, if it was 4 wheels, an engine, times 2 diggers, etc., 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 if they broke down, there was no hesitation in getting your zillions of tools out to fix it in a heartbeat. Your bond with your daughters is like no other. You were their mentor, entertainer, drinking partner, the list goes on. Well done to Lockie for getting a green light. No easy task. I think your wheels were your ticket to his heart, not your haircut. Our car rides together were fast and ferocious, me holding on for dear life. Your music blasting as you navigated to the front. I promise to guide your daughters in good stead, make good choices, reach their goals, and live their lives with you in their hearts. You were a pain in the ass, Marcus, and have left a huge hole in my heart. But I don't think I'd want it any other way. I can just see you there now, telling me to pull my shoulders up. I will hold my shoulders high for you as I step into the world without you. I love you to bits. Thank you.
Astonishing, outstanding, grand job, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You had some colourful material to work with, of course, but I've got to hand it to the lot of you. It was just wonderful to sit and listen to. May it all spill over later into your time at the Bushmere Arms as it should. Make it count. The roads he travelled, the work he did, all he did. Now but a glimpse on the screen, for memory lane is a mighty long one to capture in a short time. With the backing of some favourite Marcus music, be reflective, be with Marcus, and enjoy the visit.
Well, my name's John Lee Pettimore, same as my daddy and his daddy before. You hardly ever saw Granddaddy down here. You only come to town about twice a year. You buy 100 pounds of yeast and a copper line, Everybody knew that it made moonshine. Now the revenue man want a granddaddy bad. Headed left for holler, left everything he had. For my back. Now daddy ran a whiskey in a big black Dodge. Bought it at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff at the side. Just shot Cody primer and looked inside. Well, him and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. And then the sheriff came around at night, heard mama crying that something wouldn't Copperhead Road. Volunteered for the army on my feet. Draft a white trash first round away. I've done 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. With a brand new plane. I take a seat from Colombia, Mexico. I just planted up a holler down Copperhead Road. And now the DJ's got a chopper in the air. We got screaming like I'm back over there. I learned a thing or two from Charlie, don't you? You better stay away from Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road.
Thanks to the family for bringing that show to the service. A lovely backdrop to the stories told. The stories each of you have of Marcus, who was indeed a man of many parts. One fiercely loyal to his family, who knew if any one of them was having a hard time, he'd be there to help out. Marcus, the fast and furious, full-on, funny and irreverent, at one end of the scale, a crusader for whatever cause, work, interest, endeavour he took on. At the other, what is termed these days an active relaxer, whose toys happen to be large and all involved work. Marcus, the mentor and supporter in ways that most never knew about. He of the staunch opinion and an intensity of purpose that never, never wavered. Even in his pursuit of Kerry, how many blokes would be likely to etch his girlfriend's name into a heart on her parents' lawn with Roundup, for heaven's sake? Kerry, you never had a chance, but look where it led you. Many a life's ending reveals a list of should-haves and could-haves, maybes and might-have-beens, and Marcus probably had his share. But equally, if you could have called his life a square, then he filled every corner. If a circle, he kept it spinning, gathering up the next thing and the next and the next. And that's how it would always have been. And in that is the steering wheel to hang on to now, the very fact that he packed in as much as he did. We can't see around corners, and maybe it's mostly best that way, but sometimes someone special to us will, in their departing, give us a look around the blind bend and serve a reminder of the value of life, the fragility of life, the need to number our days and apply ourselves to them. For as author Mitch Albom put it, the length of your days does not belong to you. In the strange imbalanced equation of human life, in what befalls one person, not the next, is no factor of fairness, reason, or logic. But who knows what may await any one of us amidst life's inherent risks, the risks we choose, or even in the frailties of age, should we be spared. Given all the awful things that do happen to people on a daily basis, you could be forgiven for saying that Marcus had a pretty good exit strategy. It's just that he got his timing horribly wrong. He was probably far too busy to have ever numbered his days as such, but then the matter might have been accounted for in the words of a famous song. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. He did. He knew no half measures, yet left behind a full measure of himself. Kerry, the roundup of way back when, made its mark, and perversely from that browned grass rose a life, a family, and the world you and Marcus built together. Yours is the you can't take that away from me package of personality, passion, polarity, and sheer spirit that was Marcus, that you, your girls, Meg, Lily, and Georgie, will forever cherish, as will the Beaufoy family and the McFarlanes treasure with you. Life can never be the same again, but it can be good again. It is as insistent a customer as Marcus was in its way of pushing you from behind and beckoning you on as you figure out the new map you'll all have to navigate now. It will be a rough rally drive at times that you can but meet with a patient hand on the wheel, an open heart, and willing tears. The dips in the road may send you off course sometimes. The tight bend will be tough. May the softening of time and the great memories you all have to call upon teach you a few tricks from the navigator's notebook and see you through. Then you know, if Led Zeppelin and AC/DC were right in their assertions that there is a stairway to heaven and a highway to hell, which might say a lot about anticipated traffic numbers, let's reckon that Marcus did enough to rise above that highway and earn the right to climb the stairway to whatever heaven awaits him. Take heart and comfort then in the thought of who might be waiting for him and all that could happen. Marcus, as we prepare for our parting, we will keep that hope, and to you we will hand a last poetic word. My hands upon the steering wheel, the road beneath my tires, I'd take the turns and hit the straights. How thrilling it was to drive. How thrilling to have had a crack at more I never could be still, with Citrus Orchard, a pack house, and the livestock game with Neville. I'm thankful I did all the things I could while wishing there'd been more. I'm blessed to have known my family's love. With that, my soul will soar. And the friends with whom I shared so much, the memories I carry on, I hope they travel with you as well. And I hope your road is long. I'm sad that I must take my leave, for my heart is with you still. But I'll be waiting round another bend, just over yonder hill. Would you please stand for the committal? We are given life and it is taken. Marcus, Ralph, Beaufoy, we have gathered for you today in due ceremony and reverence to respect you in life and in death, and to give thanks for the many legacies you leave and for the family you helped bring into the world. We have come in a mixture of shock and sadness in losing you, yet enormous gratitude for having traveled the road with you. And now we come to our final act, and it is with tenderness and dignity that we commit your body to be cremated and thus returned to nature, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. As we free your spirit to travel the great stairway, may it take you where you want to be, and if it is to be, they will surely know you have arrived. All who mourn you go on fortified by the love, care, and friendship that has come together because of you, with a treasury of memories to have and to hold for as long as we live. It was written in life in the Tao. There is a time for being ahead, a time for being behind, time for being in motion, a time for being at rest. Go with our blessings, Marcus. Your work is done. Rest in love, and thanks for an incredible life.
Can't believe that you got me in a suit and tie. I had to take a pull so I wouldn't cry. You got a line out the church door saying goodbye. Yeah, I believe them when they say you're in a better place. You had a wild side, but you had amazing grace. I know you're way off up in the clouds, but if you could still hear me right now, I hope you hit those ghost streets on two wheels. I hope your mansion in the sky's got a 10-acre field with some mud and some hoods you can lock in. Make some thunder, make them wonder how you got in. How'd you clear from the man upstairs? Crank it loud, hold it down till I get there. And when I do, I hope you got some new stories to tell. Till then, give heaven some hell. I bet you're looking for a crew like we had. Bunch of noise making boys that like to live fast. Burning rubber in a parking lot. Man, I don't know if the other side's ready or not, but I hope you hit those ghost streets on two wheels. I hope you mansion in the sky's got a 10-acre field with some mud and some hoods you can lock in. Make some thunder, make them wonder how you got in. How'd you clear from the man upstairs? Where the liquid fire filled his lungs and his eyes silent in him home right. Cold in the green, death stinging pain. He fought like hell to keep the wolves away. For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made recovery just to spite the odds. The settlement came and we moved out of town where the sky isn't heavy with refinery clouds. Yeah, he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 50s, but the money's running out. He's painting for pennies. So I'm going for broke with every song I play, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away. Redefine what's permanent. Come on, won't you fly with me? Far above desire to see, swimming like the clouds, mindful that our sun may. can't believe that you got me in a suit and tie. I had to take a pull so I wouldn't cry. You got a line out the church door saying goodbye. Yeah, I believe them when you say you're in a better place. You had a wild side, but you had amazing grace. I know you're way off up in the clouds, but if you could still hear me right now, I hope you hit those gold streets on two wheels. I hope your mansion in the sky's got a 10-acre field with some mud and some hubs you can lock in. Make some thunder, make them wonder how you got in. How'd you clear from a man upstairs? Crank it loud, hold it down till I get there. And when I do, I hope you got some new stories to tell. Till then, give heaven some hell. I bet you're looking for a crew like we had. Bunch of noise making boys that like to live fast. Burning rubber in a parking lot. Man, I don't know if the other side's ready or not, but I hope you hit those gold streets on two wheels. I hope you mention in the sky's got a 10-acre field with some mud and some hubs you can lock in. Make some thunder, make them wonder how you got in. How'd you clear from a man upstairs? Crank it loud, hold it down till I get there. And when I do, I hope you got some new stories to tell. Till then, give heaven some hell. I was there when you raised your hand. It's about singing just as I am. Walking that out, praying that prayer. Man, it ain't right, but if you gotta be there, I hope you hit those gold streets on two wheels. Hope you mention in the sky's got a 10-acre field with some mud and some hubs you can lock in. Make some thunder, make them wonder how you got it. How'd you clear from a man upstairs? Crank it loud, hold it down till I get there. And when I do, I hope you got some new stories to tell. Till then, give it some hell. Yeah, when you raise your hand, that thing just as I I'll see you again. Till then, give it some hell.
Took my first breath where the muddy rises spills into the Gulf of Mexico. Skyline colored by chemical plants put bread on the table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife. Giving a little of a soul every day, making old time. Whoa.
Well, 2 minutes at the I did want to stay here tonight.
And I was barely 13 when the company man tried to take my dad's race. It happened on a French owned tank ship spilling poison. Where the liquid fire filled his lungs and his eyes, silent, getting more right. My oldest dream, death, stinging pain, we fought like a hen to keep the wolves. For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made recovery just to spite the odds. The settlement came and we moved out of town where the sky is heavy with refined light. Yeah, he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 50s, but the money's running out. He's paying for kids. So I'm going for broke with every song I play, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away.